Hi everyone, welcome to this Pilates workout. My name's Debbie and I'm going to be taking you through the practice today. I will tell you a little bit about myself, but there's probably quite a few of you now that have done my practices and don't really need to listen to it, so please forward on. We are going to be using hand weights today, if you've got them. If you haven't, as I always say, you clench your fist to work your muscles, and today is going to be working up to an inversion. Now, inversion is anything where the legs are above the head, so that could be a headstand, something like that, but obviously we're not going to those extremes today. We are going to be working ourselves into a Pilates roll back. I'll give you an option when we come to that, and there'll be options throughout the practice that I'm going to be doing. Also, you'll find that there's certain moves where it's going to pull on the spine. Please hold back on those if you're feeling anything there. We do need to warm the spine and open it up, ready for the the last final sort of inversion that we're about to do. But if it's too much for you, keep to the lower options and just use the lower inversion at the end. Okay, so those of you that are going to zoom along, go ahead. Those that you might be new to my practice, as I said, my name is Debbie. I'm going to be taking you through the practice. I've been doing Pilates now for around about the last 18 years plus, and it all started after I had a premature menopause at the age of 29. I got osteopenia, went into full-blown osteoporosis, and I prolapsed a disc, which was not good. I was taking lots of medication, physiotherapy, etc., and it just wasn't helping. So I decided that I needed to look around for alternatives because I was still young and I didn't want my body to be crippled. I found Pilates, and honestly, I haven't looked back. So I do hope that if you have cinnamon ailments, then you too will benefit from Pilates. It does take, years to sort of work up and build it, but it definitely works. But if you're here just for the pure enjoyment, I hope that you do enjoy my practice. So let's take ourselves to the mats, everybody. We're going to start by coming down to the floor and we prep ourselves. I always like to prepare our bodies, just relax in and zone into us being able to switch off and do a practice. So when we are laying down and things like that, it is quite nice to close your eyes because it stops you from focusing and taking your thoughts elsewhere in the room. So if you want to come down from your side, then do so. Come from your left if you have low blood pressure. If you're coming down from me, we come down with what we call the Pilates C curve. We don't just drop back. If you just drop back, you're going to find that harder to hold from your core. And we are looking to strengthen our core here. The core is the main reason for Pilates. We strengthen the core, it supports our spine, it gives us a better posture, and it helps our muscles and bones, everything. So we're sitting nice and tall, we've got our feet hip width apart, God, not mat width, I say that all the time, hip width apart, and we start to roll down, and we C-curve ourselves down like this. We're holding it with our core. So if you get to a point here where obviously your core's not holding you or whatever, you take it behind the back of your legs and you use the support from your arms to bring yourself down. Do not take the strain in your spine, which so many people do because they want to try and, achieve moves that they can't do. But we're protecting the spine. That's what Pilates is all about, protecting your body. So we're taking our arms out. We breathe in. And as we breathe out, we start to C-curve down. As you can see, I'm bending forward with my head and I'm coming down one vertebrae at a time, very slowly, doing it all from the core, holding that core tight as we roll ourselves down to the mat. And we take our arms overhead, we take our legs out, and we're going to do a full body stretch. Now, if it's too much for you and you have lower spine issues, take your feet mat width, lock your knees in together, breathe in, pull in that core. We breathe in through the nose for Pilates, we pull in our core and we push our spine back into the mat. We squeeze our thighs, we squeeze our glutes, we squeeze everything together. We push away with our arms and we're holding that core as we breathe. We breathe in through the nose and we breathe out through the mouth. All the time holding that core as tight as you can, but stretching away, and then release that. Okay, do that again. Those who've got your legs long, same thing. Breathing in, pulling in that core, and pushing your spine down into the mat, pushing away, push the feet away, push the legs away, and really stretch. Try not to have too much of a curve. Some people do have a natural curve to their spine, so they can't get it flat, but we don't want great big bends as we're pushing away. We want to protect the spine and push. And then just release down. So we're going to just take a little scan of our bodies. We're going to relax down and we're going to prep ourselves now for the practice ahead. So allow the feet feet to drop out and allow our legs to be mat width apart. Again, you can still do it from your knees locked in and the feet mat width apart there. So closing your eyes down to help you to focus internally, holding the arms away from the body, palms facing up to bring in some energy, and let the feet drop out. Let's take a big deep breath in through the nose and breathe out through the mouth. Do that again, big breath in through the nose and release it through the mouth. Allow the body to start to rest down. Let the feet drop out and rest in those legs down. Feel the weight of them resting. Let them be soft. If you have any tension there, maybe the ankles, knees, around the top of the thighs, just breathe into those areas and ask them to soften. Then start to relax your glutes and your pelvis and your lower spine. Breathing any points that are tense, just ask them to soft, ask them to relax down. Breathe into those areas. And then your mid-spine, your stomach, your upper spine and your chest. Your torso being rested. Softening down. Then onto your hands, your wrists, your lower arms, your upper arms and your shoulders. Let everything just rest there with the arms. Breathe into tense areas, particularly the shoulders. Breathe into those shoulders, ask them to soften down. You might want to lift your shoulders up and drop them back down behind your back. Let them soften down, let them be heavy. And the neck, shoulders and neck, we hold an awful lot of tension there. So let's release the neck by just tilting your head from side to side. Gently rocking back and forth there. And then coming to centre. So we can elongate the neck, take a breath in, pull in your core. And as you breathe out, pull that core tighter and lift just your chin to your chest. So it's just the head that's coming up, shoulders are staying down, chin to chest. Hold it there with a tight core. Breathe in, pull the core tighter. And as you breathe out, hold that core and release the neck and the head slowly back down to the mat. Feel that as it releases. Let it go. Feel the weight of your head heavy in the mat, rested down. We want no tension held anywhere in that body. So you need to do a self-scan. Scan from the tips of your toes to the top of your head. Work the whole body and areas that you feel that are tense and not good today. Focus on them throughout the practice. So I'll leave you to do your full body scan yourself. Just a gentle breath now, the rise and fall of your stomach. If you're breathing into the chest, take the breath to the tummy. The tummy is the calming, the resting breath. The chest breath is anxious and stress breath, which we don't need. We're resting down. Breathing into that tummy and breathing out. And start to bring some movement now back to your fingers and your toes. Just wriggling them around. Waking your body up and keeping the eyes closed if you can. Bringing our legs up so that everybody now has their feet mat width apart and your knees locked in. Taking the arms out to a T shape or cactus arms where you bend up at the elbow. Cactus arms opens the chest more.
T shape will keep the chest less pain in there, or less movement in the chest, I should say. So now everybody part your legs, take an in-breath, pulling in the core, and as you breathe out, drop your legs over to the left-hand side, a gentle spinal twist. This is where we're going to start to warm our spine now, taking it up, ready, preparing it for our last inversion. Relax there, let everything go, let the core go. Breathe into tense areas. Let's soften. On your next in-breath, pull in that core, and at the same time you bring your legs to centre, you reach the top. Don't let the core go, don't have to, try and hold that core tight if you can. Breathing in, let's pull the core tighter, and as you breathe out, drop the legs over to the left, to the right, we've just done the left to the right hand side, Get to your point of tension and let everything relax again, breathing into those tense areas. On your next in-breath, pull in that core, and at the same time bring your legs to centre, breathing out but holding the core, centralise your spine, and then release the core. Okay, let's bring our feet so that they are mat width apart. We're going to take ourselves a nice little hug in. So let's pull in our core on the in-breath and bring up our right leg, squeezing it towards us. As you breathe out, keep the core tight. On the next breath in, pull that core tighter, bringing up your left leg. Breathing out, squeeze the core tight, squeeze both legs towards you. Feel gentle opening in the bottom and the mid of the spine. Squeezing them in, don't lift the head for the moment, just the legs. Release down, but hold the legs there. Take a breath in, pull the core tighter. And as you breathe out, core really tight, squeeze the legs in one more time. Feel it in the core, in the back. We're warming ourselves up now. Release down. Just going to have a little rock up and down. This is like rolling like a ball, so we're just going to start manipulating the spine. If that's too much, just stay where you are and keep with the hugs. But if you want to do a little rolling like a ball, start the momentum as I'm doing here. Try not to put the feet on the floor, just rolling and warming the spine, giving it a little bit of massage here. And then coming down, holding yourself there, taking your legs down and taking yourselves long again on the mat. So we're going to continue that now. We're going to start warming the core. That will warm the spine as well. Try and do everything from the core. If you find anything that we're doing now is pulling on the spine, take the lower options. So we bring our feet back up so they're mat width apart. We bring our right leg up and we start to push the right leg just back and forwards, lengthening the leg out, keeping the core tight. So breathing in while the core's here, breathing out as you push away. Breathing in as you bring the leg towards you, breathing out as you push away. Breathing in through the nose, breathing out through the mouth. Every breath, that core held tight. Two more here. Bringing that right leg down. Don't let the core go, guys. Keep it tight. Lifting up our left leg now and do the same movement with the left leg. So breathing in, breathing out as you push away. Breathing in through the nose, breathing out through the mouth. Two more. Breath in, breath out. Breath in, breath out. Bringing that leg down, keeping the core held. Don't let go of the core. We're going to try and do it with our legs in what we call our tabletop position. So we bring the right leg up, so the calf is flat to the mat beneath, and bringing up the left leg, so together. Now if that's too much, you can just do what we did previously. Otherwise you can come up with both legs here, and we're going to do the same movement but with our legs held in this position. So pulling in the core tight, breathing in, and as you breathe out you push away with the right leg. Breathing in, breathing out. If it's too much with the leg long, don't have to come right out, you can just lift the leg gently there. Just 2 more to go, guys. Keeping the core tight, support that spine. Last one. Bringing it and holding it there, keeping the core tight. At any point you feel pain in the spine, take the leg higher. Don't force it out. Breathing in, breathing out. Two more, guys. 1 and 2. Holding it there. Keep that core tight. We're going to try and do it with both legs, okay? So let's start just by lifting our legs just up and down here. So breathing in, and as you breathe out, you lift the legs up, keeping the core tight. If you've still got one leg on the floor, you can do 4 on this leg, and then do 4 on the other. We're going to be doing 8 as joint ones. So keep going there. Two more. Now stick with that wherever you are, or you can try and take it so that you've got both legs pushing slightly further away now. So they're slightly lower down. Take your hands away so that you're not pushing into your hands here or anything. You're using your core here. If it's too much, take the legs higher. Don't feel it in your spine. And then holding our tabletop position, keeping that core really tight. We're now going to try and take it even lower. Okay, again, do not feel it in your spine. Breathe in, pull that core tight and push the legs away. Don't worry how low you're going. It's just the core that we're concentrating on and not pushing into the spine. Two more. Breathing in as you bring the legs towards you. Breathing out as you take the legs away. Holding it there, holding that core tight. Taking the legs down. Release your core just for a moment. We're going to take our hug again. You can do it as we did before, one leg and then the other. Or you can do it now, we've started to warm up a bit. You can bring your both legs up together. So breathing in, pulling in that core. And at the same time, you're bringing both legs up and you're squeezing those legs towards you. And as you breathe out, you keep the core tight and you breathe out through the mouth. Release that. Breathing in, breathing out. Core tight. Hold it there. And if you want to bring up your head down to feel a little bit more movement and opening in the spine, then do so. And then release and taking that back down. So next thing what we're going to do is we're going to take our left leg, we're going to take it over our right, give it a little bit of a push away, a little bit of a stretch there, feeling it around the bottom of the hip. And then we're going to bring up our leg for the stretch. But if you can, bring it up. If it's too much, stay here. You can bring it to there. You can take it to here and you're going to squeeze it towards you, opening out now. Stretch, warming the spine, warming the legs, opening the hips, and then bring that down, and then taking your hands down to the side for support. We're going to do lifts here. So pulling in the core, pull that core really tight. And then as you breathe out, keep the core tight and just do a lift. We're just lifting here. It's good for you, lifting it up. 6, 5, 4, breathing in as you lower, breathing out as you raise. 2 and 1. Holding it up there, hold it up there. And then releasing down. Keeping the core tight, don't let it go, guys. Let's take that on the other side. So we've got our right leg over our left. We're going to do the opening, the stretch. We're going to push away here, feel it in your hip. And then bringing your leg either towards you, lifting the leg up, squeezing behind for the opening. Keeping the core tight as you squeeze it forward. Feel the stretch. And then dropping that leg back down. And we're going to go for our push up here. So taking our hands down by the side, breathing in, pulling in that core. And as you breathe out, you lift up for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and the last one, hold it there, hold it up, keeping the core tight, and then releasing down, taking the legs away. Okay, we're going to go to some leg circles, so we're going to start to warm up our hips now. So we're going to take our right leg up, and we're going to start to do some circular motion here. It's 8, 7, breathing in as you pull the leg towards you, breathing out as you push away. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and the last one, round you go, holding it at the top. You'll notice that I have a slight bend, my knee never locks out, it can't. But let's reverse that, so that's 8, 7, 6, breath in as you're bringing it up, breath out as you push away. 5, 4, 3, 2, and the last one, bringing it round, holding the core tight, not letting it go, bringing that leg down. Let's take the left leg up. Our core is still tight. Let's start to circle our leg around and out. 7, 6, breathing in as you bring the leg up, breathing out as you push it away. That's 5, that's 4, that's 3, that's 2, and the last one here, bringing it round, holding it at the top, keeping the core tight. That's reverse, that's we're going down and we're bringing it out and back. Breathing out as you lower, breathing in as you bring it back. That's 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and the last one, bringing that leg down. Okay, don't let the top core go, guys. We're going to bring ourselves up to a seated position, so you can push yourself up from the side, left hand side if you have low blood pressure, or we can roll like a ball again. So let's start where we want to be, and I'm going to start rolling. Try not to put your feet down, guys, just massaging our spine, holding behind the legs as we're rolling up and down, keeping the core tight and breathing in through the nose In through the nose and out through the mouth. Holding it there, putting the feet down. And if you've got weights, if you've got bottles of water, whatever you might have, take them now to the side. We're going to start to warm the spine a little bit more. So feet nicely mat width apart. So you're either doing it with your clenched fists here, you're doing it with bottles of water, you're doing it with hand weights. We're going to start to lower ourselves down. Don't forget it's the C curve, so we curve ourselves to where we can go, where it's comfortable to hold. We're holding it with the core, we're not holding it in our spine, and we're sitting back up. So if you're just coming to here, that's absolutely fine. If that's all you can do with holding it with your core, then do so. Don't start straining in your spine, because that's not what we need. Doesn't matter how far you go down. I've been doing this, as I said, for a long time now, so my body is probably used to doing certain things. It's happy with holding it from the core. Where if you're new to certain things, you know, you've got to build up to it. And I think it's great that anyone does some exercise, however it is. And I tell you, sometimes, even I'm not doing this, because my body says, no, not today. Keep going, warming that spine up. Hopefully getting yourselves a little bit lower each time, but don't worry if you're not. And then if you want to go all the way down, take the arms overhead, breathing in, and as you breathe out, keep the core tight and sit yourself back up, keeping the feet nicely flat on the floor. We're doing that for 8, wherever you are. 7. Breathing out as you come up. 6. Try not to throw yourself up. There's a tendency that people tend to like swing themselves up. They get to here and then they swing their motion. Try not to do that. Try and pull yourself up with your core. That's 5. That's 4. If you're using your core, you'll probably find that you're coming up a lot slower than what you would if you was swinging yourself up. That's 3. That's 2. Got one more to go, guys, and we're going to hold it at the top. Hold it at the top there, taking your legs out. Put the hand weights to one side if you have them. You're going to breathe in. We're just going to do a forward fold. We're going to open the spine forward. So breathing in, and as you breathe out, start to bend yourself over your legs. Now the idea is we're pushing our chest towards our knees. Okay, we're not just dropping and hanging. We're pushing forward. Now if that means that you're just here, that's absolutely fine. You've got a nice elongated spine. You're like not bending it awkwardly, and you're holding it nice and straight. Otherwise you can start moving down with me, coming down, gradually breathing in as you lift, and as you breathe out you bring yourself a little bit lower. If you want to have a little pull around the side underneath of your feet, then do so. But don't strain, don't hurt. And then when you get to your point of tension, just release the hands, release the feet, and let everything go, and just hold it there. Holding the core, hold the core. If I know it's very tight to hold it here, but still try and hold it a little bit. Try and squeeze the lower point, those lower muscles. And then bringing yourself up. Excellent. Right, we're going to bring ourselves round onto all fours. And we're just going to open the legs a little bit more so that we've got some more movement in the hips for when we come into our inversion. So we're on our knees at the moment. We've got our hips underneath the knees and our feet are behind us. Lifting up our right leg and bringing it forward so that we're into a lunge. Okay, as best as you can, how far you can go. It doesn't matter if your lunge is here, that's good. Wherever your lunge might be, I need to move slightly further. You need to be able to see your toes in front of your knee here. So we're just lowering ourselves down here
opening up around the hips. You can take your hands down here for support. You can take them either side of your leg, and you can lower yourself down here for a big opening, so you can come down onto your elbows, but that's not everybody's choice. We're opening up the hips here. Breathing in, we keep the core tight, but we breathe into the areas that are tense. So for me, obviously both of my hips here feel quite tight, so I'm breathing into them, I'm asking them to soften down, but I'm keeping my core tight. And then push yourself back up, bringing the leg in and bringing it round so we're back up onto both our knees. We're taking our left leg forward now to your point of stretch and where you need to be. As I said, you must be able to see your toes in front of your knee, and we're holding either here. You can bring your hands down for a little bit lower. You can take yourself down here, and you can come down onto your elbows. Your choice. It's your body, and you know how it feels and where it wants to be. The core is being held. We're opening our hips and we're breathing into tense areas. And then pushing ourselves back up. And bringing our knees round. We're going to go into child's pose. So you can go into child's pose with your knees together and dropping yourself over. Or you can take your knees mat width apart. You can lock your toes in. You breathe in, you keep the core tight, and as you breathe out, you lower yourself down. And don't just let everything go straight away. Pull away with your arms. Feel the opening around the shoulders. Breathing in and breathing out. And then let them go. You can rest with your arms at the side, you can take them down the side, or you can take them up onto your spine, onto your back, which I like because it's just the natural weight of my arms and it helps to push down onto my hips and opens my hips a little. But it's everybody to, do what they feel is good for them and their body. This is the pose that you can do throughout any practice, any exercise that you're doing. This is a relaxing, resting pose, child's pose. Bringing yourselves up, bringing yourselves round onto all fours. So we've got a nice all four position here. Okay, you've got your feet flat, or you can have them curled, whatever's good for you. We're just going to do a few Superman, just to work the body, sort of start manipulating the spine in different ways. So breathing in, and as we breathe out, we're going to take our right arm and our left leg away. If that's too much, just stick with the arm. Okay, you don't have to do arm and leg. So it's opposite arm to leg. So right arm, left leg goes out. This is Superman. We've got a nice quad tight. A nice quad tight, a nice tight core even. Goodness me. Breathing in. As you breathe out, see if you can take elbow to knee. Breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out as you push away. Breathing in. Breathing out. One more. Holding it there. Bringing the left arm, the hand and the leg down. Let's take that on the opposite side. So this time we're going to be taking our left arm and our right leg. Breathing in, keep that core tight, guys. Breathing out, you push away, opposite arm to leg. See if we can do those crunches. Breath in. Breathing out as you push away. Breath in. Breath out. Two more. Breath in. Breath out. Breath in. Breath out. Bringing them both back down. Sitting back onto your heels. We're going to just come up to standing. We're going to do a couple of Pilates roll up, roll downs, and then we're going to go into our inversions, or inversion, I should say. So let's take ourselves into a downward dog. A downward dog actually is an inversion because we've got our head lower than our heart really, although they say an inversion is the head be lower than the legs. as we've got our head so far down below the heart, I think that was also, I would say that was an inversion, but it's, I suppose it's everyone says different things. So you've got your hands, you're in all four position, you've got your toes curled under now. You're going to push yourself back, you're going to lift your knees, and you're going to push yourself up into a downward dog. Now don't worry if your feet are not flat on the floor. Not everybody can get their feet down. Sometimes mine won't go down. And just holding yourself there for a moment. Bend the knees and then walk your hands back to your feet. Hang there like a rag doll. Taking hold of opposite elbows if you wish. Just hanging there. And then taking your hands on your hips, we're going to start to roll ourselves up. So take a bend this time, holding the core in. And as you roll yourself up one vertebrae, keep the core tight, squeeze the glutes, and bring yourself up to standing. So Pilates, roll down and roll up. So this is a classic Pilates move. So we're standing here, we've got our shoulders back and down, we're standing nice and tall, we've got our core tight, and we're going to squeeze those glutes. So we're breathing in, pulling everything tight. And as you breathe out, you take your chin to your chest. You start to roll down. Your shoulders will come forward, and take your hands to the front of your legs as you roll down, keeping the core tight. Every breath in, you pull the core tight. Every breath out, it remains tight. Bringing yourself down to your point of tension, wherever that may be. Hold there for a moment. Take an in-breath, and on the out-breath, you roll yourself all the way back up. One vertebrae, slowly as you can. Hands to the front of the legs always helps. Squeeze the glutes. So the lower spine starts to lift, the mid-spine lifts, the upper spine lifts, the shoulders go back and down, the neck comes up, and then finally the head. Let's do that one more time. Shoulders back and down. Breath in. As you breathe out, your chin comes to chest, the neck's coming down, the shoulders come forward, the hands start going down the legs, the upper back is coming down, the mid back and the lower back. To your point of tension, hold it there and hang for a moment. Keeping the core tight, breath in, and as you breathe out, you start to roll yourselves back up. Again, squeeze the glutes, squeeze yourself tight. One vertebrae, lower back, mid back, upper back, shoulders back and down, neck and head. Okay, we're going to go back down now. We're going to take that to the floor, and we're going to come round, and we're going to lay down, and we're going to go into our inversion. So shoulders back and down, breath in, breath out as we take our chin to chest. We start to come down slowly as we do. One vertebrae, keep the glutes squeezed, keep the core squeezed tight, everything tight. Taking your hands to the floor. If you need to bend your knees, then do so. Walking your hands out, bringing your knees down, and taking yourself round to a seated position. So we're going to roll down, to the floor, but if you want to come down from your side, then do so. We're coming into the inversion, so if you haven't, if it's too much, and it probably will be for some people, you can take yourselves, when we get to it, you can take yourselves to a wall or a door, take your glutes as close, your buttocks as close as you can to the wall, taking yourself to the wall like that and dropping your legs out. Your head is lower than your legs, and this is a really lovely inversion here if you find, the one that I'm going to be doing shortly too much. So that's your option. Right, so we're sitting. If you're not already laying down, we're coming up down from a seated position, so our feet are nicely hip width apart. Sitting nice and tall with our core pulled in, our arms are out in front, we're breathing in, we're holding in that core, and we're C-curving ourselves down. One vertebrae, slowly, holding it with the core, guys. If it's too much, hands behind the backs of the legs, bringing yourselves all the way down to the floor. Okay, so from here, let's start to go from where we are. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring ourselves up so that we come behind
We've got hold, our hands are holding us nice and firmly up around our lower hip cage, rib cage maybe, and our legs are pointed to the ceiling. And we're going to start to move them down. You might want to take one leg down. You might want to take the other leg down. So we're sort of scissor splitting here. Entirely up to you. Feeling how good that is for you. If it's too much, you can just see if you can take yourself just to there and just hold it. Again, if that's too much, then just opt out and go straight to the wall for the inversion. Or from here, you can bend the knees over your head and you can take them out over the top so that your feet are now touching the floor. They might not be, they might be here. That's okay. As long as you're comfortable and your spine's not hurting, you can take your hands round, hold onto the legs. You can curl your toes, you can walk the legs out, holding the ankles, bring them back. Whatever's good for you. This is our inversion. And then when you're ready to come out, take your hands back round for support. Support your spine with your hands. Bring your knees back in and bring yourself either down or back up with the legs as straight as you can get them, holding that core tight, don't forget, and then bringing yourselves, squeezing the legs in and slowly bringing yourself back down to the floor. Yay, well done guys, that's really great. Those that have got their legs against the wall, come down now to the mat because we're going to go into some final relaxation, a little bit of stretch and then straight into some soft, calming, resting, relaxation after that real hard workout, guys. You've done amazing. So, okay, we're going to go here. We're going to bring our right leg in, squeezing it in towards us, taking our foot up to the ceiling, and we're going to go to half happy baby pose on this side. So we're bringing our knee, holding round the outside of the right foot, and with our right hand, we're going to bring our knee towards our armpit. Don't worry if that you're here. Again, it's where your body wants to be. Holding it there. Feel the stretch. And then release it back down. Let's take that on the other side. Bringing up our left leg. Holding behind the outside and bringing it down. Armpit, or I should say knee to armpit. And releasing that. Now you can do that again, or you can take both legs up, holding behind that outside of both of the feet and coming into a full happy baby pose there. Lovely opening for the hips that we've worked today. Resting into it, breathing into tense bits, breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth, hopefully keeping that core tight, guys. And then release those down. Want a nice spinal twist now, a nice little stretch out on that. So you can take it with your feet mat width apart as we did at the beginning. You can take them hip width apart, or you can take one leg over the other. You can take your arms out, you can breathe in, and as you breathe out, keeping that core tight, drop your legs over to the left hand side, keeping our shoulders firmly on the mat. If you want to take a bigger opening in the chest, bend your arms at the elbows and look over at the opposite arm. And if you want a deeper stretch, because we have worked that spine today, take hold of the foot and stretch, holding the foot and stretching it away. I like this one because it does actually stretch down the back of my leg and also my back. I quite like that. My lower back where I have issues. This is a nice stretch for it. And then releasing that foot if you're holding it, pulling in the core and in breath, and at the same time legs to centre. If you've still got them crossed, uncross them, keeping your core nice and tight. If you were going to cross the legs, take the left leg over the right, breathing in, tighter again, breathing out, drop the legs over to the right hand side, releasing there, And if you want to take hold of the top leg, then take hold of that with the other hand, stretching away and looking across against the opposite arm. Release that leg if you're holding on to it. Breathing in, hold the core tight, bring your legs to centre. If you had them crossed, uncross them. Centralise your spine. Do a little pelvic tilt here, taking your fingers into a nice triangular shape, putting them over your pelvis. Gently lifting the pelvis up and down, breathing in, pulling in the core. And as you breathe out, you tilt the pelvis up and hold the core. Do that a few times, warming and keeping warm the lower spine, keeping it active after the moves it's just made, thanking it for what it's just done for you, and then release down, taking the legs long on mat width for our full body stretch as we did at the beginning of the practice, breathing in core tight, stomach and back down into the mat, squeeze away. Really feel that stretch. You can flex the feet, you can point the toes, and then release. Take the arms down by your sides, closing your eyes down now, ready for final relaxation. Really let everything start to soften down now. Any movements you want to make, so if you want to shuffle yourself around, you want to give yourself a little bit more stretch in any areas, then do so, and then join us on the mat. Laying out, ready for our full relaxation. If you want to put a jumper or anything on if you're a bit chilly. Big breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Excellent. Let those feet drop out. Give the toes a squeeze. Squeeze the toes. Squeeze them under. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And then release and wriggle and stretch those toes open. And then let them go. Let them be soft. Let the ankles rest. So if you want to give the ankles a little move. And then ask them to stop and soften down. Going to flex both legs now. So squeeze both legs really tight. Just the legs. Squeeze those legs. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. And then release. Let the calves soften. The knees and the thighs soften down. And I want you to squeeze your glutes tight. Squeeze the lower core. And squeeze your pelvis. Squeeze that. Nothing else. Just that area. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Isolate it. Squeeze. And then release. Let the glutes be heavy. Let them be soft. And then you're going to squeeze in your core. So squeeze that core tight. Squeeze in the belly. Squeeze it in. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. Just the belly. Try not to squeeze the glutes. We've already done that. We're just going for the core. Pulling it in. And then release. Let that core go. Squeeze the chest now. Squeezing that tight. Just the chest. Squeeze the chest tight. The stomach probably will join that. I can't isolate my tummy. Some people might be able to. But squeeze in the chest and let the chest relax. And squeeze those hands in. Really squeeze the hands tight. And then let them go. Let the fingers wriggle and soften. Twist the wrists. And let the hands drop down. And we're going to clench both arms. So just the arms, squeeze both arms really tight. Really squeeze those arms tight. Everything else is really soft, just the arms. And then release the arms. Let them go. And now our shoulders. Really tense those shoulders up. Just the shoulders. Tense the shoulders. Tense, 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 tense. And then let them go. And then you're going to squeeze your face and your neck. So squeeze that really tight. Squeeze and then release. Let the neck go. Let the face go. Let all the muscles in the face soften down now. So let the jaw go, maybe parting your lips. Let the cheekbones soften down. Let your eyebrows and your eyes soften. Let your forehead relax. Release any frowns that you might have. Let them soften, let them go. And let the top of your head be free. Your whole body soft and rested in the mat beneath. Just the rise and fall of your breath in your tummy. Let's begin to realign our little chakras now. So concentrating on your tummy, visualize a clock in front of you. And in your tummy, start to move in a clockwise motion. Let the tummy circle in that clockwise motion. That circle getting bigger, so it's bringing in your hips and your chest. And then it goes to your glutes, and your spine, circling all in a clockwise motion. Bringing in your thighs, spreading out to your arms, and then your lower legs, and your neck, and then your feet, and the top of your head, your whole body working in a clockwise motion. Come to stillness and just rest down there. A few moments of silence. Start to bring your awareness back now to the room. Listening to any noises, near or far, that you can hear. Visualizing the room, and start to wriggle your fingers and your toes. Maybe breathing a little deeper. Making those movements bigger. Waking your body up, but keeping your eyes closed down if you can. And then when you're ready, we're going to bring ourselves onto our side. If you're coming onto your left-hand side, I like to just shift my hips over to the right before I drop over. If I'm coming over onto my right, I will shift my hips over to the left. And then roll over, making a little pillow with your arm, resting your head. Breathing in and breathing out. Your lungs are now free and open at the back. So let's breathe into that spine and those lungs. Big breath in through the nose. Breathe into that spine. Breathe into those lungs. So through the mouth. Do that again, guys. Big breath in. And breathing out. Your spine appreciated that, I'm telling you. Let's push ourselves up onto all fours, trying to keep our eyes closed if we can. It's not always difficult here. So we're on all fours. We're looking down at the mat now, and we're going to blink our eyes open there. We're going to curl our toes under at the back, and we walk our fingertips to the side of our knees. Push into the fingertips so that your knees come off the floor. Bringing your fingertips closer to your feet. Pushing yourself up so that your feet are flat on the floor. And you're just going to hang there again. Let the spine rest, let it open. Don't hold any tension there, let it be free. And then taking your hands to your hips. A very big bend in your knees. We're coming up slow. We don't want any head rushes here. Been laying down for a while. Bring in slowly, one vertebra at a time. Squeeze the glutes and the core as you do come up. Your neck, your shoulders, and then your head comes up. Fabulous, guys. Let's take our feet a little bit wider than hip width, shaking our arms. Give the fingers a little wriggle and a shake, really waking them back up now, taking them up. Breathing out. Take a big breath in. Take those hands together. Bring your feet together. Taking your hands down to your heart center. Give yourselves a bow and give yourselves a clap. Well done, guys.